Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Okay, so let me explain to you what happened in Ramadan and why we're doing it the way we're doing it, inshallah, and what's going to happen in these Friday classes as well, inshallah, okay? So what I realized, although you've all attended the Arabic intensive, it's a very tough thing to go through, yeah? So if you remember, we took out the Saturday and we sat there like the whole day. And across the board, whoever the person was, what I noticed is that by the end of the day, you're really struggling to concentrate anymore, even if you love the subject and you want to learn, okay? So what I realized, because that was the case, rather than doing it all in one day, I would split it out over 30 days in Ramadan and try and stick to each day just being 5 to 10 minutes, yeah? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you saw have you had a glance through the videos, even if you haven't watched all of them, but at least seen what I did there for the 30 days, yeah? Maybe write something in the chat saying yes, please. Yeah? Good. Okay, so now that's a resource. That's on my YouTube channel, Marwan Ghannam. It's free and people can go through it. Now, there's one thing having a resource that's there. There's another resource. There's another thing of actually going through it. And one of the problems of our age, because there's so much stuff available for free, literally you can write pretty much any book and go on YouTube and you'll find some teacher or sheikh explaining every single page. Yeah. The problem with that is because there's so much, then you end up not doing anything. Yeah. So it's important to have a weekly check-in session, like this, where you can actually do some work and then get it checked by me. Okay. Now you should work at your pace. It's more important for you to be sustainable rather than doing loads and loads and then stopping. Okay. And that's what we want to achieve. Now, some of this stuff you will remember. Yeah. This introduction bit, it didn't take much time to do. This stuff is just introduction. You remember this part from when we did the Arabic intensive. Okay. So that I just put that in again, and I made a few videos to explain that. Okay. There was also some pages that I took from the Arabic course that I did online with the kids during lockdown. So this here, we did all of this during lockdown. And these notes are also available as well. Yeah. But I only put in the few that of the 25 lessons, some of them I haven't taught you before, which are these. So these ones I put in there. And they're not difficult concepts, this idea of like plurals, gender, like male and female, all these sorts of things. Okay. Now let me get to the part that took me ages, and it took a lot of my Ramadan, and I was questioning myself as to whether or not it was actually a good idea to do it. Because Ramadan, you're supposed to be doing worship and all these things, yeah. So this is what I was referring to before about the bit that I did in lockdown. So these lessons I did in the lockdown, yeah. But then I thought, you know what? In Ramadan, you also have added motivation. There's more reward, and so I did it. Okay, it took a lot of time, but I did it. Now, what was missing from when we used to do this before is when you get to sentences, there weren't enough examples. Everyone get that? This is the bit that I want everyone to really understand, okay? There wasn't enough examples. Now, when we talk about words, you can take any surah that you're doing, any ayah, and understand each word, what's going on. Yeah, you can already do that. That's what we were doing before. All of you have the ability to do that. You just check the word. If it's got an N underneath it, it's noun. If it's V underneath it, it's verb. Those are easy. And some of the other ones, like resumptive particle, these sorts of things, you can go and check my my thing. And I think a lot of you are actually quite good at that now. Yeah. The people in the class that are attending, I think are reasonably, especially like those of you who've been with me for more than a year. Yeah. You're reasonably good at that. You know these. Now you don't even often need to check what's going on. Okay. Where everybody is weak, doesn't matter how long you've been studying with me, is the examples for the sentences. And this is where I've pulled out the examples. Now, what we did before, we used to have those links and we'd click in. It was all a bit random. Jamal would pick an ayah, Tariq would do Sut al-Masad. It was all random. It wasn't structured. Yeah. So what I did over Ramadan is I structured it for you. Okay. So I said that we want to get really good at these. These are 9, the top 9. So this is what we need to understand. When you want to understand a word, you just look at the label, And it's like a dictionary. Yeah. Words in Arabic, the way we're teaching it, it's like using a dictionary. You just look at the word, check it in the dictionary. You check it in the dictionary in terms of what the word actually means, but also the Quran, this dictionary that I've given you, it's explained what type of word it is. Is it a noun, a verb, all this kind of stuff? But that you can't do that with sentences. With sentences, you actually have to understand the concepts. So this is what we need to get good at. We need to get good at the fa'il, the fi'l, maf'ul bihi, harf jar, mudaf ilayh, mubtada, khabar, ma'tuf, and sifa. These 9. Yeah. I think if you're really good at these 9, you will be good at Arabic, because this is the majority of the Quran, is these sort of 9 concepts. The other concepts, once you're strong at these, I think they become a lot easier, because you basically know how the Arabic language works. Yeah. So what we will be doing in these lessons, inshallah, and the reason why I want to record this is that those who didn't attend the live session, then you can watch this and you can know what's going to happen each week. Yeah. We will go one by one. So you can see here, there's just loads of examples. And it took me ages to do, not just like to pull out the examples, but actually just to format it, make it look pretty. That takes a lot of time, okay? So we start here with the first one, which is the fa'il, the subject doer, the word that's doing the verb. And it's just example, 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 example. Until you've done so many examples, it's easy. And that's the way that we learn English. We did so many examples, it was easy. And I think that was really missing from what we were doing before, because it just wasn't, it was too much effort to click this place, go onto corpus.com, follow here. You know, I wanted to make it really easy, really easy. And I do genuinely believe that it's I have a genuine belief that I've helped with the, you know, with you guys and learning from you. And because me teaching you, I've learned a lot from that experience as well. Yeah. I kind of see what works, what doesn't work, and we can make changes. So I genuinely believe that us together, we've made a resource now that's made Arabic so much easier. And I'm very passionate about getting this out to more people. So I need you guys to really try your best. Even if you don't get it, even if it doesn't make sense, that helps me, because then I can make further improvements. Some people have said to me, why don't you print this as a book? The problem with their book is that that's it, it's stuck. Yeah, you can't really change it again. Yeah, then you need to print a new edition, and it's you know, it's difficult. Whereas the beauty of this kind of lesson is, if you're really not getting it, then I have to go away, I have to think about it, and I have to change it. Yeah, so I learned from that. So put yourself a target every week, at least do 1 page here. Yeah, it really will not take you, I don't think, more than 5 minutes. So I'm setting the bar really low. Yeah. So we've done this ayah before, so I'll do it again just because, you know, this is something we're familiar with, and then I'll open up for some discussion, inshallah. Okay. So here, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ. So first of all, this is saying it's the subject do, it's the fa'il. Okay. And because it's a singular word, the fa'il always has a dhamma at the end. Yeah. Which is why when we look at the word that's been labeled fa'il, which is nasru, it's got a dhamma at the end. And that's what you explain here. So you can do each of the words, but the main word that we're focusing on is this word nasru. Yeah. So you would say something along the lines is that nasru means help, and it's doing the verb ja'a. And because it's a singular word, it has a dhamma at the end. Okay. If you can write that, so when you send it and I can read it, by reading what you've written, I will see if you've understood it or not. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter if you, like, I remember, I think it was Myra, if I'm not mistaken, she submitted one of these, because I gave you a few of these before Ramadan, and she focused on the fact that this is like a noun. She didn't say anything about the dhamma and the singular word. So that showed me where her level of understanding is that she's good at the individual words. I think Uthman as well did something similar. No, I think actually Uthman gave a bit more detail, but someone just, by reading that work, it showed me, okay, that's where that person, that's where their ability is at this stage. Okay. And that's it. So we'll go through now. It's what this, we're on page 92. This document is 362 pages. So there's plenty of examples. If you do them and you're patient with this, you will be very good at Arabic. I would even say that you probably be better than those people who do these, the people who do these intensive Arabic courses, because they're focusing so much on the theory. We've done some theory, but we're focusing a lot more on the practice. So you'll be very, very good. So when you go to the Quran, you'll really understand what's going on in the Quran. And you get a real ton of satisfaction from that, inshallah, okay? So I've done the effort to pull this out. I need you to make a bit of effort to work through them, okay? Now, you have the benefit of the author giving you feedback. So take advantage of that. I'm giving you a lot of my time because it's very precious to me. I put a lot of effort into it. I want people to do it. Maybe in the future, I won't have time to do that. Who knows? Yeah. I get people requesting me, say, oh, can you teach my kids Quran? I say, I've got teachers who can teach you. I don't really have the time anymore to do that because I'm doing other things. Yeah. I said it once. I said, one of the brothers said, I've put a class for you to teach Islamic studies to like 5 and 6 year olds. I said, I'm not going to do that. Anybody can do that. I want to focus on some of things. It's not being arrogant and stuff. It's just that I think there's loads of people who can do that. I want to do something that people aren't doing. You see? So that's where we're at the moment with this project. Let me just talk a little bit about verbs. So you can see here how many examples I've put in this document. Yeah. That's why I say it took me ages. Yeah. I just need some good students to work through it. And there's this famous story of people like Imam al-Awza'i, Imam Sufyan al-Thawri. They sometimes say they were more knowledgeable than, like, the famous ones like Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik. But because they didn't have good students, their work died out. So students is an important part of any teaching process. Okay. Now with verbs, we basically did the same thing. Again, with verbs, there wasn't enough examples. Okay. So here we've got the verb in this one. So Yawma tubla sara'ir, this in Surah Al-Tariq. You can see that this verb is in the same scale as this one, tunsaru. So tubla tunsaru. Yeah. Turhamun, tunsarun. Yeah. So when we get to verbs, and maybe we'll do sentences and then verbs, sentences, verbs like that each time. And you can do sentences and verbs for homework. We'll start off just with sentences because I think that's a bit easier for people. We haven't done verbs as much, inshallah. But again, finding examples for each and every one of these has been something that took a long time. Okay, and giving all the explanations in here, because you have to really search to find a relevant example. Maybe I don't know if something like this has been done before. Probably there is something like this. I'm just not familiar with it. But in the English language as well, I think this is something really good. So examples from the Quran that you can just do and then understand Arabic, inshallah. Okay, so I'll open up for some questions. Does anyone have any comments or questions or anything they want to share?
Assalamu alaikum.
Just before you do that, is that Jamal? Yeah.
Yep, of course it is.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, Jamal, go on. What do you want to say?
Yeah, so it looks like a resource that sort of we were looking for, but we didn't know that we were looking for it in a way.
Did you watch that lecture? Did you watch that interview between Sheikh Abdul Hakim Murad and the IFG guy?
I've watched some of it.
Because there's the first comment there reminded me. He said, "This is an interview that we didn't know that we need until something." Is basically exactly what you just said now.
Was it really?
It is.
Oh my!
It reminded me of that. I thought maybe you read it or something. Okay, sorry. Carry on, Jamal. What were you saying?
Listen, I promise I don't have a script in front of me anyway. Because we were sort of doing these lessons and we were getting immense benefit from it because, well, myself personally, because I could go to a surah, any surah in the Quran, and sometimes you have Nouman Ali Khan explaining it on Quran Hive. You're thinking, what in the world is this person talking about? And then you have some of it sort of click, and I don't know what it's some sort of other feeling that you just don't get with any other kind of knowledge. You go with the math question, and then you get to the end and you're thinking, wow, at the end I got the answer. But then when it's Quran and the meanings come together, even it's better than English poetry and so on when we're trying to extrapolate meanings. Here it's embedded within the language, and then now from that you have a structure where you can go from one week to the next, and then from that you can set targets. which I think we all need. And I, with Abdullah, I mean, just it seems that he's so much more motivated now. With
Beautiful, Jamal. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I cut you off a little bit there. So good. So this is the thing now. I think I will still, if anybody wants to ask about a specific ayah that they are memorizing, you're still more than welcome to do that. Okay, because I think that's part of the enjoyment of learning Arabic, is that it helps your hifz. So I'm very, very passionate about people memorizing Quran, and if this then helps you with that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Jamal?
I think that sort of sums it up. I think what sort of gets it all in one sort of sentence or little jumble of sentences is that we now have a bounce board just to sort of really go from where we were before Ramadan somewhere completely different, simply because we have the ability to set targets.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right, because this is a document that you can just have a target to get through, and we'll see. So I'm now foreseeing that if you get through this this document, your Arabic will be very, very, very strong. I mean, the thing is, for me, people like yourself, Jamal, Uthman, Maryam, Fatima, other kids, sister Nahi's daughters as well. It is just 1 hour a week. Yeah, it's not, intent, like when we do like an intensive, it's like 20, you're expected to do 20 hours a week every week for 2 years. We're doing 1 hour a week. So if we can get to a really good understanding of Arabic with just 1 hour a week plus a little bit of homework, yeah, amazing. And what I think is key here, because it's part of your Quran, what happens is Quran has also become partly Arabic as well. You see? So when you have an ayah and you're not sure of what's going on, you bring it to class, you're showing it to me, you're posting it on the WhatsApp group, I'm answering it. Arabic has now become part of learning the Quran, which is what we wanted. Yeah? There's a benefit in then being able to read other books that are not the Quran, like maybe hadith books or other books, but that can be an aspiration for the future. At least with the Quran, when you go, today I was burying somebody in the ground. We dug a hole in the ground. Well, I didn't dig it, but they dug a hole in the ground. We put them in the hole. We put mud on top of them. We all went home, and we've left them there. That's it. At least in life, we've gone through and understood the Quran. And this applies to me as well. Like for me as well, this is one of my life objectives. There's no way we went through all life. We bought several cars and we bought a house and we did the central heating and we painted the bedrooms and we didn't have time to go through the Quran. Come on. Yeah. That's why I'm setting the bar really, really low. But it's very important now that we go into this post-Ramadan, this new sort of phase, with a revised intention. Why? Because I'm relying on you guys to do this. Okay, we've got a dad, we've got a mum, we've got a boy, we had a girl on this live as well. And you need to show other people that it can be done. 1 hour a week with a bit of homework, and it can be done. Because if you can do it, then more and more people will I can keep on banging on about this until the day of judgment. But unless I have people who've been able to do it without this huge commitment, then it's just not going to make a difference. What about everybody else? Anybody else want to say anything?
So I think first of all, Jamal, you're doing great. I think so. You need to keep up, and I think we need more people like yourself. Coming to the notes, I think so. I haven't really looked into the details, but it looks like this is more like a version 2 of the the notes we had before. First version was great as well. For me, that put me back on track. After probably 4 or 5 years, I think they were really helpful, and I think so. This is even more simplified. I think so. Just looking at the examples, I think so. So
I think what it is, Tariq, is the examples.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the example,
but simplified. I think so. The way you're highlighting, obviously, and focusing on those You put down those 9 categories, I think so.
And I learned that from you. I learned that from teaching this class.
Yeah.
What I noticed is that, if we talk about maf'ul mutlaq and hal and tamyiz, and beautiful. These are beautiful concepts, but they're not the core of the Arabic language. The core is the 2 types of sentences: mubtada, khabar, fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, and then jar majroor and mudaf ilayh. I mean, that's the core of a sentence. Yeah,
absolutely.
So we would go and we would click on this link. It would take us to the website and be jumping around here and there. So really, what it is putting it in one simple place, and also, focusing on. So what I've done is we always have, for example, we start with 3 singular words: the singular, 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 and then we do broken plurals. So we have 3 broken plurals: 1 broken plural, 2, 3. Yeah. And then we do the feminine. 3 feminines as well. 3 feminine plurals. And then 3 غير منصرف. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 sound masculine plurals. Yeah.
I think you've gone at great length going into all the details. I think it's an amazing effort, to be honest, on your behalf. I think so, putting this together, to be honest. And
my fear is that
we need commitment, from.
Well, my fear is that it remains a lovely PDF document on my hard drive, and then it dies with my computer. This is the thing with that. It's like, I love this statement from my teacher, Sheikh Sajjad, from his teacher who signed our ijazahs when we graduated. He said, because he was in this converted fish and chip shop he was teaching. And he said, it's not about the buildings, it's about the people. It's about the people. It's not about the documents and things, it's about the people. Like if we can find I remember Uthman, he was doing, I think it was sort of Saf or something, but he noticed how everything would end un and then there was one een. I mean, that's a really good example. That was a really good example of something that someone else on his journey, with his hifz would come across. So this is the thing, is that you're all more than welcome to make your own contributions as well. If it's something that's useful, if it's something that's genuinely beneficial to people, because our quest is, let me make a bit of a tangent here. What makes Syria and Egypt unique, and maybe other countries as well, particularly Syria and Egypt, where they became centers of the Islamic world, was that not only did they adopt Islam, but they adopted the Arabic language. And it took a long time. But Syria, the spoken language in Syria is Arabic, even though historically it wasn't. I mean,
okay.
If you think about it, Jesus, peace be upon him, is from Syria, because Syria is Sham. Sham includes Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. That's all called Sham. Yeah. What language did Isa alayhi salam speak? He spoke Aramaic. He didn't speak Arabic. So Arabic was introduced with the Muslims. The people became Muslim and they adopted Arabic. The same with Egypt. Yeah. Egypt was Coptic Christians. They're still there. So this is the thing, is that with time, I mean, if you look at the statistics, in this country, my dad was telling me about this today, the reproductive rate this country now is 1.5. To survive as a people, you need the reproduction to be at least 2.2. So for every family, it needs to be just over 2.2 or 2.4, something like that. Okay, don't quote me on that. So this population is not reproducing itself enough. And he was saying to me that 29% of the newborns in this country are from people who are from abroad. And the majority of those people are going to be Muslims. That doesn't take into fact that we all have lots of kids. I mean, Jamal, he's one of 4. I'm one of 4. Most families will have at least 2 kids, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Muslims are really growing in this country. Really, maybe 50 years from now, who knows? I mean, my own daughter, we live in Solihull's quite an English area. Half my daughter's class is Muslim, and this is not very Muslim area. I think that I heard a statistic like 2030 or something, Birmingham will be a majority Muslim or something like that. Yeah, all sorts of these crazy statistics. So as part of this, I think that one of the best things we can do to really help the Muslim community develop is the Arabic language. It will. It's not just that we can access texts and things like that. I think the personality of the Muslim is different when they have access to Arabic.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, it's something about the fact that, you know what, I'm not relying blindly on the sheikh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
I kind of can read the text myself and just double check the hadith. I'm not so reliant on translations. Yeah. So anyone else want to add anything else? I mean, I'll keep, so this, but here covers the duals. So you've got 3 examples for duals and then 3 examples for the masculine plurals. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then once we've done that, then we move on to the next category. Okay. So now that we have here, this is the subject. Oh no, then I do mabni. How could I forget mabni? So then we have 3 examples for mabni. And then we move on to the next one. So the next one is direct object, the maf'ul bihi. And it follows the same as well. 3 singular, 3 broken plurals, 3 feminine plurals, 3 masculine plurals, you know, and it's all sorts of structured and it's all like follows on. So we're not jumping around concepts. We're just doing one concept going through it, inshallah. Anything else? Anyone want to add anything else? Yeah, go on, Jamal. Put your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, just an idea or sort of dream for 15 or 20 years from now. If we were alive, inshallah, I thought, what if we had, a school, some sort of supplementary school, just not just for learning Arabic, but other classical Muslim languages as well, like Farsi, Urdu. Sorry, this is 10, 15 years from now, but I'm just thinking, imagine how much
Yeah.
that could influence people
What are
here.
the main languages where you find all the Islamic texts written in? What are the main languages? You know, Jamal? There's 4.
Well, so
What are they?
Farsi,
Yeah,
Arabic.
so Arabic, Farsi. What are the other 2?
I'm tempted to say Urdu, but there's just
Yeah,
more.
Urdu. And there's
Urdu is
one
one of
last
them.
one. Yeah, Urdu is one of them. Yeah. What's the last one?
I'm tempted to say Bangla.
No,
No,
I don't
English.
think it is. No.
English.
I mean, you can make an argument with Bangla and English, but historically, think of the big empires.
Turkish.
Turkish, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Turkish, yeah. So you could learn Turkish as well, yeah.
That's
So then you'd
interesting
have
because-
access to huge. So then Sheikh Abdul Hakim Murad can speak Turkish, Farsi, English, Arabic. He got like a AAA star in Arabic or something crazy. I don't know about his Urdu. Maybe he knows a bit of Urdu, but he knows like Turkish and Farsi to like academic level.
I think he did a degree in it at Cambridge.
Yeah, there you go. So he's your. I even once, because I was just being a bit nosy, I googled Sheikh Abdul Hakim Murad speaking Turkish, and there's a video on YouTube where he's talking to somebody in Turkish. Really cool.
Wow.
And he sings in Turkish and all that kind of stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. But look, Jamal, I mean, what you could do, and this would work, you go to primary schools and you do an after-school club teaching Arabic.
That'd be so good.
So I never spoke to you about this before, because at the time we've spoken, it just didn't come, but I know that it would work. Because I'm a governor at my daughter's junior school, and they're more than happy for anyone to come and do anything, as long as it benefits the kids. And the parents love it because they don't have to ask Tariq now, yeah? It's an after-school club. So instead of picking up his kids at 3:30, he picks them up at 4:30. So it doesn't he's not taking them anywhere.
Yeah.
And you just do Arabic there. And it's easy, just contact the school. You got my full support, just go for it. Yeah. I don't know why I never thought about mentioning that to you before. But yeah, and they just ask basic things like, DBS checks and stuff like that. Maybe because you're not 18 yet, maybe you don't even need that. I don't know.
Not yet.
So yeah, I mean, the thing it's just having the energy. It's just like, wanting to do so. Like, because look, I've said, I don't know if I've said this to you before, but this is the way I live my life. Yeah. The Prophet ﷺ said, when you die, everything stops except three things: somebody who makes dua for you, knowledge that people benefit from, and sadaqah jariyah, charity. We should all have an ambition for the knowledge that carries on after us. We have to have that ambition, because with kids, inshallah, we have kids. Maybe you teach, like, maybe you run a school or something. Those kids as well benefit. That's not that difficult, but it's hard to develop some genuine knowledge that people can then benefit from you afterwards. And maybe you start
did
with
you say 4 things or 3 things?
3 things.
3 things. Okay. Kids, knowledge, and the
Charity.
sadaqah jar. Yeah. Okay.
I'm working on a charity project, by the way, where we go. One of the charities approached me, because we do that Syria project that you probably see my messages for, to actually take people to the refugee camps and build a genuine relationship with them. Yeah, where the kids, imagine your kids seeing other kids living in tents, like the impact it would have on them, and then not just like as a holiday one-off thing, but no, like as a genuine connection where you then, you're fundraising, but now you're fundraising with people that you actually know by name and you care about and you genuinely want to help. Because charity is often this very far away and distant. But anyway, that's my charity idea. But for the knowledge side, I think this is for me like the thing that probably we could help with the most. Yeah. Okay, inshallah, I think we'll probably wrap up there. Just to give you the structure for the verbs thing, I think that you benefit from that as well, so you know how it works. Have you all downloaded the notes? Yeah, I put them in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I don't think I sent you the verbs, but yeah, I'll send it to you next time, inshallah. I'll see if you like show me that if I sent it to you, it wouldn't just be like a file on your desktop. So what I've already sent you, come next week, inshallah, if you can, and please post it on the group, because there's a lot of people who want to come, but they're busy with kids, and I know what it's like and family life and that kind of stuff. When you post, it really motivates the other people, inshallah. Okay, so this is the structure here that I follow. So this is the verb table, which I've told so I've recommended that you memorize before. Nasartu, nasarna, nasartana. Remember this Jamalia? So this is what we've done here. So we start with, actually this first bit is just an introduction, and then basically this is where does it start from? A second. Yeah, so like from here. Nasartu ahlaktu. So Surah Al-Balad. يقول أهلكت مالا وبدا. Yeah? And then you've got نصرنا. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. Yeah. فإذا فرغت فانصب. Yeah. أنت نصرت. Yeah. So all I've done is I've gone down here, this table, and I put an example for this, an example for this, an example for this. So rather than just learning the table, and what I also try to do is I try to work from Juz' Amma. So if I could find an example from Surah Al-Fatiha or Juz' Amma, because you're more likely to be familiar with those ayahs. Yeah? So that with time, because you can learn this table, but I think there's something about seeing how you can practically understand ayahs from the Quran is very satisfying. Yeah? And, like to go back to the examples we're giving here, it's all about, explain this. So you can say, this is first person, is singular. Yeah? But you'll know why. So you can see here, ahlaktu is if in your mind you can map it to nasartu, which was first person singular, a perfect verb. Yeah. Okay, inshallah. So we'll leave it there. Wa sallallahu alaihi wa sallam Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.